Welcome back, everyone, for part 2 of Rate the Intros. This time, looking at the DLC characters. Next time will be Rate the Outro with base and then Rate the Outro DLC. So, first up with the DLC, I'm going to look at the guest characters before the normal DLC Mortal Kombat characters. First up of the guest characters I'll be rating intros will be Rambo. Basic down the middle, it does suit the character, but I'm going to give it probably just like a 4 out of 10. Not great, 2 out of 10. That one suits the character at least a little better. I'll give that one a 4 out of 10. Pretty good intro with the helicopter, and it suits the character, but I'm gonna give it a down the middle 5 out of 10. Nothing impressive from Rambo. Next up of guest characters, let's look at RoboCop. And we'll stick with his traditional look. First up, admittedly I do like that. I'm going to give it a base of 5 out of 10. Okay, I like that one. That's gonna get a 6 out of 10. I do like also how it implements a certain robot from the classic original film.
10-10, need backup now.
Arguably, probably the best. I'm gonna have to give that one a 7 out of 10. That one's gonna get probably about a 6 out of 10. So he's actually not bad. He's more or less down in the middle. But at least he had one that got 7 out of 10. Next up of the guest characters, we're gonna go with, of course, the Terminator. I like how it even uses the classic, like, special effects from, like, the first and second film specifically. I like that cheesiness about it. And the nostalgia, admittedly, also. For an intro, I'm going to give that one a 7 out of 10. It's pretty solid, especially given if you grew up with Terminator like I did. That's a classic, and I like the reference it makes, of course. Obviously, from specifically Terminator 2 Judgment Day, I'm going to give that one a 6 out of 10. I'll give that one also a 6 out of 10. I do appreciate the references. I appreciate that one's going to get a 5 out of 10, but still overall, yeah, I think his are actually not bad, and I do appreciate the references they make. Next up of the guest characters, who else? Mr. J, Mr. Joker. And let's choose the version with the hat. Admittedly, at one time I would have given that hair after so many times time playing the game, I've gotten kind of tired of that, but I still think it's a nice reference. I'm going to give it probably a 6 out of 10. It's still pretty good, and I like at least it gives basic Joker laugh. I like that one. Obviously, it's Biv. I would say a bit of a reference towards the Heath Ledger Joker, obviously. I'm going to give that one a 7 out of 10 because it also really does suit Joker character. I like that one because it kind of gives me flashbacks and a bit of a feel for specifically the Jack Nicholson Joker, which I think is one of the more underrated Jokers. I'm going to give that also a 7 out of 10. It's actually pretty solid. That one I'll give a 6 out of 10 too. It does suit the character. I don't like it as much, but still, it's not bad. It does at least suit the character. Now, coming up, last but not most importantly, definitely the most important out of the guest characters, is of course Spawn himself. And I'm gonna stick with more of the classic looking Spawn. Now with his intros. The freaking goosebumps I get from that. That is just iconic Spawn from the comic, as well as from the animated series. I mean, the sound effect, everything is perfect. It feels like that was done by Todd McFarlane. Admittedly, I'm very biased because I'm a uber longtime 20+ year fan of Spawn, but that intro gets a 10 out of 10 perfect score from me. Admittedly, I'm biased as all hell when it comes down to it. That one, I like how it uses the ectoplasm also. That's gonna get an 8 out of 10. I absolutely love that Easter egg reference with the Violator's head. That's going to get a 9 out of 10, speaking as though a longtime fan, so keep that in mind. Oh, that's just gorgeous. That is going to get, I mean, just looming there like that, like in the shadows. That's also going to get a perfect 10 out of 10. Like I said, like, it's almost impossible for me to be unbiased when it comes to Spawn. I'm sorry, there's probably no other DLC character that's going to get across the board nearly as good reign as Spawn. I should have saved him for last, but I didn't. So let's get on to the regular DLC characters now. First up, Shiva. Of course, a reference to the Centaurs, because they've been long-time enemies of the Shao Khan. I'm going to give that one actually a 7 out of 10. I do appreciate the references. If you're a long-time MK fan, you'll get that reference. I'll give that one a 5 out of 10. Okay, I like that. That is actually pretty cool. I'll give that a 6 out of 10. I'm going to give that one a 6.5. It makes her look strong, intimidating, and that's what you want for a character like Shiva. Okay, next up, DLC characters. We are going to look at Fujian. think that does a good job demonstrating his powers and abilities with the wind. I'm going to give that a 7 out of 10. That's actually pretty solid. I'm gonna give that also a 7 out of 10. Another very solid one. Give that one a 6.5. Give that one a 6. Over across the board, he's pretty solid. Next up of intros, Rain. Which I love the design, this look of Rain. Especially with the gold. Demonstrating his powers with the water effects and everything is good. I give that a 7 out of 10. That's solid. I absolutely love the way the effects of him punching through like reality. That is gonna get an 8.5 out of 10. That one's gonna get a 6 out of 10. I'm gonna give that one a 7 out of 10. It's not bad. Actually, I'm gonna bump up the Portal one to a 9 out of 10. Because the effects and the way it's implemented is superb. Let's see here. Next up, I think we'll go with Nightwolf. I'm gonna have to give that one a 6 out of 10. At least it does a good job implementing and demonstrating his abilities. I'll give that a 5 out of 10. Also a 5 out of 10. A 5... I'll give it a 5.5 out of 10. I do like the fire effects. Next up, Frost. First up of hers, I actually like that one. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Six out of 10. 7 out of 10. That is a really nice one. Dang, the detail on that. I'm going to give that a 6.5. Next up, we're going with Molina. All-time classic. Perfect, suits the character very well. 7 out of 10. $7.5. Very good pacing. $5 out of 10. Gross, but I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Next up, of course, arguably my favorite female character pretty much in the series, and I think criminally underrated. I like how implements and stuff, and with the evil smirk and everything, that sort of holding in laugh and stuff, that just so suits the character perfectly. I'm gonna give that a 7.5. That's gonna get an 8 out of 10. A 6.5. Okay, I like that. The effects and everything. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Now we go to the final two. First up, of course, Shang Son. I like that, how he transforms from any person he faces. I'm gonna give that one a 6.5. That's gonna get a 7 out of 10. That's gonna get an 8 out of 10. Pretty impressive. That's gonna get an 8.5. I love the whole implementing of the Cobra. Plus, it's a nice reference back to the way he used the Cobra and everything as well in Deception. Last but not least, the final DLC character to rate, Shao Khan. That one's gonna get a 7 out of 10. It's pretty solid, in my opinion. That's gonna get an 8 out of 10. Really does suit the character. Love the implementing of like feeling like everything is doomed. That's also gonna get an 8 out of 10. Love that. That's gonna get a 9 out of 10. And that's it. For the DLC edition of Rate the Intro, the only character to get a perfect score is, of course, Spawn. And for one more time's sake, ending this edition, again, in my opinion, pretty much the perfect intro. See you next time.